Hi, welcome to the Chef's Kitchen. I'm your host, Adriana Brizuela, and we're here today at the PBS 39 Studios at the Steel Stacks campus in Bethlehem. Today we have the pleasure of having Chef Francesco Martorella. Thanks for being here today, Chef.
Pleasure to be here, Adriana.
Yeah, great to have you.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. What are we going to be making today?
Today we're going to be making it. We're actually going to be doing an Italian dish today.
Okay.
Because both my parents are both born in Italy, so we're going to go to Abruzzi and kind of bring back a dish, but we're going to modernize it a little bit. Great. What we're going to do is we're going to be working with black bass today. So we're going to do a seared black bass. It's going to get a little bit crispy because I'm going to show you a little modernized trick that I use with some rice flour, and we're going to show you how to make the Brodetto and plate it up.
Great. It's a beautiful looking fish.
It is. It's one of my favorite fishes. It's actually migrates from North Carolina all up and down. This particular bass is almost a 3.5 pounder.
It looks big. They
picked out for me at Samuel's. It's white, it's flaky. The skin is very, very thin, so when it crisps up, when you put the knife through it, it just goes right through like butter.
Great.
Really good. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make the Brodetto, so we're going to actually turn the fire on here.
Okay. And can you describe what that is?
Brodetto is, it's actually like a fish soup.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn the soup, because I don't really want to serve a soup to highlight the bass. We're going to kind of turn it into almost like a sauce a little bit. We're going to buzz it up, and all the ingredients are going to thicken the sauce up with tomato, and it's going to actually have a body to it. So we just put a small amount of the sauce on the bottom, then you eat it with that.
Sounds delicious. Yeah.
So we're going to grab I got some good olive oil here. What you want to do is just coat the bottom a little bit. What we're going to do here is be building some layers.
Layers of flavor.
Layers of flavor. That's what we're doing. This is real classical style cooking. The first, we're going to get the oil hot. We don't want it to smoke point. We just want it hot enough that we're going to start cooking our shallots, and then we're going to follow with the garlic.
So I understand for our director Stephen Horn and his beautiful wife Nicole, I understand you actually cooked for their wedding.
Cooked for their wedding, absolutely. It was one of the
treat.
Highlights of...
I heard it was fabulous.
It was a great time. I really enjoyed doing it. It's when you're in the business, you really become friends with people, and it's really the love that you're cooking for. It comes from the heart. I teach at a school now, and that's what I tell them. If you don't love what you do,
Star Career Academy?
Star Career, exactly.
Great.
Tell them if you don't love it, you're not going to be successful at it. You have to love what you do.
Love what you do.
You can
definitely, I say, you can taste it when someone really cares about the food they're making.
Absolutely. So as the shallots are starting to sweat, we're just going to stir it up a little bit.
Okay.
And you can see the shallots actually absorbed a little bit of the oil.
Yeah, and they're starting to get that translucent color.
Yeah, so I'm just going to add a little more oil. Now we're going to add the garlic.
Looks like there's some chili flake
There's a little chili flake in there because I like to have a little spice, a little kick to it.
Great.
Okay? So we're just going to add that. So now what I like to do is season. I actually like to season right from the beginning. That way it starts incorporating, starts getting melted in with the sulfur from the shallots and the garlic. So I'm going to just hit it with some cracked pepper.
Freshly cracked?
And I use white pepper
for
this. You can use black if you really like.
You need the salt?
I have the salt right here.
Oh, you've got it.
I have 2 salts. I have regular sea salt and coarse sea salt.
Great. Will that be more for finishing?
The sea salt's always for finishing.
Okay.
Okay, so as the temperature's going up, I'm going to pull it off. I'm going to actually add some basil to it.
Nice.
All right.
Tell us a little bit more about the Star Career Academy. You're the culinary chair there?
I'm the culinary chair. I've been there for 3 years now. We started a program. We started off with about 3 or 4 culinary classes. We're up to 10 classes right now.
Wow, that's very cool.
At this point, I'm going to add a little bit of fennel because we want to give it a little bit of that sweetness from the fennel flavor.
Great.
And when that purees too, it'll add some body to the...
So at what point, do you puree it down completely, or will you still leave some texture in there?
I'll puree it when it becomes strained, and what happens is pieces will go through and actually help thicken it.
Stay tuned for more with Chef Francesco Martorella. We now return to the chef's kitchen.
You can flavor your Brodetto with lobster, scallops.
Different types of seafood.
Whatever you want. You could use shrimp. I think the recipe has, I like to use shrimp, I like to use lobster, but we're going to use clams. And and some mussels.
Clams and mussels, good combination.
And you don't need a real lot. You have to develop a little bit of seafood flavor in there. And we're also going to use some saffron.
Oh, wow.
Saffron comes from the crocus flower.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
It's not so easy to get to.
Smell it?
Wow.
Yep.
That'll definitely highlight the dish nicely.
Actually, fennel.
Give a nice color to it also.
It does. It'll help color it a little bit, but fennel is actually medicinal. It used to be used for people who had bad stomachs. It actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We're going to add just a little bit of tomato paste. This is double concentrate.
Okay.
And you want to actually cook that tomato paste?
Glaze this with some wine?
Absolutely. We're going to drink some too.
Going to drink some too?
Yeah.
All right. That sounds like a good plan to me.
It's always tastes better when you cleanses your palate with a little bit of wine.
right.
We're going to use some Pinot Grigio today.
Great. It's nice light white wine.
Yep. You don't need a real lot. Just going to bring a little of that acidic out. We cook the alcohol out.
Mm-hmm.
You'll smell it when you can't really smell that alcohol. That'll be cooked out.
Okay, that's a good tip.
Yep.
Never thought of it that way.
Yep. Cook the alcohol out.
You won't necessarily.
Leaves the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're just going to add some crushed tomatoes. These are actually San Marzano from the can.
Yes, they look good.
For a sauce. They're DOP
Perfect.
from Italy. So, and we're going to add some of that juice too. So now the tomatoes added, it's important that we cook the tomato down a little bit. It has to break down, and then what we're going to do is we have a little bit of fish stock. I have some fish stock here.
Great.
And then we're just going to add a little fish stock to it to get a brothy balance to it. You want to, sometimes the recipe, it depends on what you want, heavier or lighter. You would add a little bit less or a little bit more. if you like
Okay.
a little lighter.
It's whatever feels right.
So we're going to add that right now.
So what exactly is your role being the culinary chair at the Star Career Academy?
Culinary chair, that means I pretty much take care of all the departments. I mean,
Okay.
I hire.
Do you teach at all? Or?
I do teach.
That's great.
I teach like once or twice a week. Students, always like when I teach.
Yeah, I bet that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sure they learn so much.
It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun teaching. Not only that, just that we have, we have a baking program. We have pastry, cakes. We do international cuisine. So I actually have developed different pizza recipes, ciabatta,
That's great.
things like
and what
that.
are the class sizes usually like?
Class sizes are usually around 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nice
15,
and
18,
intimate.
yeah. Nice, controllable.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have our stock. We're pretty much good to go with that. The next step is our fish. And I have 4 fillets of sea
the
bass.
sea bass?
I always try to get it over 3-pound fish.
Okay.
So 3.5 and up. It gives it a bigger fillet. And that's really what you need. You need that nice texture because believe it or not, this fish really cooks pretty fast. You can see the texture of it.
Right,
It's really
yeah.
light, flaky. All right.
Perfect.
So what we're going to do though, I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon juice in here, tiny bit.
Great. A little more of the
Little
nice
olive, just a
oil.
little bit of olive oil. I just kind of want it to coat the bottom of the plate.
So now we're going to learn your little trick. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm using right here is instead of regular flour, I'm using rice flour.
Okay.
All
So
right,
that's
it's
the
Asian
key.
rice flour, and it will help get this real crispy
Okay.
when we saute it.
And how is rice flour different than regular flour? Just because it's made from rice rather than the grain?
It's made from rice, so it has a much finer texture. When it hits the fire, it actually gets very hard and crispy, and it doesn't absorb any moisture from the fish.
Okay.
And clot up.
That's
it stays
definitely a
really
difference.
kind of loose and light. All right, so what we need to do at this point is season the fish.
Rice flour is great for people who are gluten-free.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a great option there.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a big thing today, gluten-free. So a little bit of white. We're just going to rework it with salt, pepper.
And so are we going to put it in the little bit of lemon and olive oil before you dip it into the flour?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that moisture is going to give it a little acidic touch, so that with the acid from the tomato,
All right.
it'll be a good balance.
Great. I'll get the pepper going for you.
Yeah, do the pepper up.
So do we need to get the pan hot for this?
We want it hot, but we don't want it we don't want to burn the fish.
Okay.
While that pan's warming up, we're going to put this in here.
Okay. Stay tuned for more of the Chef's Kitchen. We're back with Chef Francesco Martorella of Star Career Academy.
All right, so at this point, I'll let you taste the Brodetto and see if it needs to be seasoned.
All right, I can gladly do that. It's good, maybe a touch more salt.
Touch more salt?
Yeah. It's delicious though. I love the fennel in there.
It is, all those flavors are combining together.
The shellfish, yeah, it's great.
Okay, so now we're gonna just have a little garnish for the fish. So we're gonna steam open a little bit of
A little more wine.
clams. So we'll have the wine. Okay, so we have our clams going. We got our pan getting hot. We have a puree. I made a little potato puree with Yukon Gold. All right.
And how did you do that? Did you just boil it down?
I just boiled the potatoes and then ran them through a sieve. Added some butter to it, a good amount of butter, a little olive oil, salt, pepper, just a touch of cream.
Great. So will this be a base for the
This
the
a little.
plate,
I like
or-
to have a little bit of base, and potato is actually a really good thing.
Okay.
So we'll also need a little bit of salad to garnish the top of the fish with. If I have some cherry tomatoes, normally I might oven dry them, but I found these at Whole Foods yesterday.
Yeah, they're
And they're
beautiful.
really nice.
They
So I
look
just
nice and
took the
fresh.
skin off, boiled them, took them out, cooled them down.
Okay, so you took the skin off.
Yep.
Great.
We'll use some olives, some green olives.
And that's a little
This is a little fennel.
fennel.
Little
Great.
shaved, just a
We've
little
got
bit
some fennel
shaved.
in the sauce
A little
here.
fennel in the sauce and just a little bit shaved real fine. Put a little bit of that in there.
And how'd you shave it so fine? Did you use a mandolin?
I use
for that?
an Asian mandolin.
Okay.
And then this is micro basil. Just put a little bit of that in
Great.
as well. And that'll be our little garnish. All
Looks good. Nice and
right?
fresh.
And then we'll just season that with a little bit of salt and pepper.
This here.
Yep, you can do it.
Got it covered.
You are the best.
Good at the seasoning part.
You are.
All right. Mix this around.
And then right at the end, we'll just finish it with a little bit of the lemon juice, just a tiny, tiny bit.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. Okay, so we got our clams going. We're gonna wait. The clams aren't quite open yet. The mussels are starting to
The
open
mussels
up.
are starting to open.
You can actually smell them. I have some sauce that I already made.
Great.
Is here. I'm just gonna turn that on.
So that sauce is what we prepped over here, and then you strained that and blended it down a bit?
Yes, what I do is I take a strainer like this that's not too fine, not a chinois,
Right.
something a little bit coarser, and then just push that through. And then I put it in the pot and I add a little bit of butter to it, then I puree it with the
Nice and
the
rich
hand
with
blender.
the butter.
And that
Great.
helps thicken it up, give it some body, all right?
Sounds delicious.
But for intents and purposes, for TV, we're not gonna do that
All right.
because it's a little messy, so, all right?
We can get messy here. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't wanna get too messy.
You don't want to get too messy.
No.
All right.
All right, so I think my pan's hot.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna pull that off. And now we're gonna put our bass
Into the rice flour.
into the rice flour.
So is this dish we're making today something you would typically teach, or is this more of what you would cook
This is
in
a dish that I
restaurant?
actually did at Brasserie Perrier,
Okay.
but I did it Asian style, and I've adapted it to fit any culture.
Oh, really? That's
cuisine.
interesting.
So, yeah, so I thought about what did I want to do today.
Nice versatile
Yeah,
dish.
very versatile.
Great.
So what we'll also need is another pot, maybe the same size as this. if we
Sure.
have
Have
it.
some pots right here.
Yeah,
Is this okay, Chef?
that's perfect.
Great.
So you can see it's coated the fish.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're just going to do the skin side. We're not going to do the meat side.
Okay, so only one side.
Only to one side.
And the skin will get really
Yep.
crispy. Okay.
Just put a little oil. No, we don't want to get this hot.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Just a small amount of oil in a pan.
So will you put the fish skin down first then?
I will. And normally what I do is I have a heavy metal type
Like a weight almost?
weight, and it weighs it down so that what happens when the fish is really fresh as it is, it actually will curl up and it won't lay flat on the pan. So putting the pan on top helps keep it nice and flat.
All right. And how long will we put this in the pan for?
Till it's cooked.
Till it's cooked. You know, all the chefs are saying that. We're not as talented as you sometimes at home.
Well, I'll show you a little trick that you can look for.
Okay. I'll take a trick.
The trick is when you're doing this particular fish, not to touch it too much. All right?
Okay, so don't move it
So
around.
you want to make sure that it has enough oil, all right? And this pan will kind of put it on there. It'll weigh it down a little bit. All
Great.
right? So we don't want to flip-flop too much, play with the fish. So we just want to let it go now and build the heat up.
Okay.
So if you let the heat, if you start off really fast, then the fish will brown too fast and the heat won't go in.
Right, and I guess the pot as the weight helps too, because sometimes it'll curl a little bit and you won't get an even sear.
That actually helps it curl.
Okay. Stay tuned for more with Chef Francesco Martorella. We're back with more from the chef's kitchen.
So you can see the bass is starting to pick up some heat. So now we're just going to take our spatula and just want to double check it. And you can see it's
getting a nice brown.
Yeah, it's getting a nice brown. And now you can see the fish is actually starting to turn whitish in color. So that means it's
the
cooking.
edges.
It's cooking. So it's cooked about 4 minutes. So another 4 minutes on the other side should just about do it.
Just right.
Yeah, this particular fish cooks pretty quickly.
Right.
And you want to undercook fish all the time because fish has what's called carryover cooking. You want to undercook it because as it sits, it's going to finish cooking.
Right.
You can touch it, feel it. Very crispy.
It feels very crispy.
Yep. All right, so that's the finished cooking. So we're going to pour the wine.
All right, great.
And then we'll get ready to start plating.
All right. And this is the Pinot Grigio that we used
in the sauce.
In the sauce, that's right.
Or the Brodetto. Brodetto in Italian means broth. Broth is always a little bit heavier than a stock. I'm just going to buzz this up a little bit.
Okay.
You want to taste this one? The salt and pepper?
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to taste it.
And make sure my sous chef approves.
All right. I am the seasoning expert today. Spot on.
Is it good?
That one's really good.
All right, excellent.
Delicious. All right. So now
so the other side's crisping up.
Yeah.
It still has to cook just a little bit more.
Okay.
But at this time, we're actually going to just turn it off and let it finish with the heat that's in there.
Great.
All right.
So while that's finishing, let's taste some of this wine.
Yes.
It's delicious wine that you brought. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Really nice and light. Beautiful for this time of year. Nice summery drink.
It really is.
Great. It'll pair beautifully with the black sea bass that we're making. I'm really excited.
Good. All right. So let's do the plate up.
All right.
What you want to do is kind of feel when it starts to break a little bit.
Okay.
You know the fish is cooked.
Starts to break apart and flake
You actually feel it a little bit. It's got a little give to it. Good.
Oh yeah. All right.
Feel it? And if you're really not sure then, you could actually kind of just take a peek in there.
Okay. And see if it's flaking a bit.
It's a little thicker, this piece, so we'll give it another minute on that side.
So we're just straining it so we didn't get too much grease on the plate.
Yeah, we get the excess grease off. So if you want, you can put a little bit of, just a little drop of the lemon.
Oh, the lemon juice.
Yeah, and then put some salt and pepper on that.
Okay.
And I don't want a real lot of potato. I'm just going to put a tiny
So a nice little dollop in the center.
Just a little dollop. Put our fish on.
Great, and the sauce is going to go around that.
I'll let you garnish. Just want to give the sauce a little buzz.
Great. Just get a towel, clean that up. Wasn't so good at balancing it.
That's all right. Looks good. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Did a great job. I mean, presentation's important, but
Eat with your eyes first.
That's right.
That's what I'm told.
So now we're going to put a little bit of sauce.
Beautiful color.
Yeah, it is.
Really nice. That
You
saffron.
got the yellow from the saffron.
That's right.
You got the tomato.
Really nice and light. I can see what you mean though. It is kind of in between that texture of a soup and a sauce. It's not really completely one. Garnishing with the mussel and clams. Very artistic.
Well, people eat with their eyes,
That's right. Well, I'm definitely dying to try it. You're doing a very good job.
All right, we're all good to go.
You're going to try it too, aren't you?
I'm going to try it with you, absolutely.
All right, great. Actually, I should probably use a spoon so I can get some of the delicious sauce that we made.
You can cut it first. Let me cut it for you. Here.
Okay, thank you.
There you go.
All right.
Get a little bit of that broth.
Yes. Wow.
You can also try it with a little bit of the potato as well.
Yeah, I think I got a little of the potato, but that is delicious. I love the sauce. It is so great. It pairs so nicely with the sea bass. And I really love that tip with the rice flour. It's got a perfect little textural bite to it. It's perfect.
Very light and healthy.
It's really light. I would love to have this in the summertime, but wow, it's delicious. And with this delicious Pinot Grigio you brought, thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
For the viewer who is passionate about food and wine, the Chef's Kitchen provides tips and techniques from the country's most exclusive restaurants. Tune in next time to see one of the nation's top chefs such as George Perrier, Roberto Donna, Jose Garces, Michael Schlau, or Tony Clark as they share their culinary talents and unique creativity. Learn how to make the delectable dishes and hit creations they're serving in today's restaurants, or impress your family with a culinary twist on tonight's dinner. Check our website for listings in your area or today's recipe.